Three stages in a woman's life. When her need for connection intensifies. The harsh reality. Most men never understand. There are three specific stages in a woman's life when her desire to build a meaningful connection with a man tends to intensify considerably. This doesn't happen by chance, nor is it driven solely by emotions. It's influenced by a complex combination of psychological and biological factors, life experiences, and priorities that shift over time. Many men make the mistake of assuming that women seek the same things in relationships throughout their lives. They believe that attraction, emotional needs, and romantic expectations remain relatively stable from youth to maturity. But reality tells a very different story. Researchers studying human development have repeatedly found that people's priorities evolve as they go through different life stages. What seems important in your 20s is often viewed completely differently in your 30s or 40s. And for many women, these changes can become especially apparent when it comes to relationships. Understanding these stages can help men avoid a very common mistake: taking a woman's changes in behavior personally. What seems inconsistent is often much simpler. Her priorities have shifted. Let's take a closer look at these three major stages. The first stage, from ages 18 to 22, the exploration phase. The first stage typically occurs between the end of adolescence and the early years of adulthood. This period is marked by exploration, self-discovery, and emotional experimentation. At this age, many women are still figuring out who they are, what they want from life, and what kind of future they envision for themselves. Their focus is often more on experiences than long-term stability. Furthermore, their brains are still developing. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for planning, risk assessment, and long-term decision-making, continues to mature during the early 20s. As a result, the present often feels much more important than the distant future. Excitement matters. Adventure matters. Intense experiences matter. Many women at this stage are naturally drawn to experiences that make them feel alive and emotionally engaged. Relationships can be important, but they are often approached with passion, excitement, and discovery rather than permanence. This doesn't mean they are incapable of commitment. It simply means that commitment is not usually their top priority. Instead, they are learning about attraction, personal boundaries, compatibility, and emotional connection. The men who typically capture their attention during this phase tend to be energetic, self-assured, spontaneous, and emotionally stimulating. They are men who create memorable experiences and bring excitement to everyday life. For many women, these years become a period of learning. They learn what they enjoy. They learn what they don't like. They learn what kind of relationship feels right, and perhaps more importantly, they discover who they are becoming. But with time, life begins to change, and with those changes come very different priorities. The second stage, from 25 to 30, the re-evaluation phase. The second stage usually appears between the ages of 25 and 30. It is here that many women begin to re-evaluate what they truly want in a partner. The world around them begins to transform. Some friends get engaged, others get married. Others start families. Careers begin to solidify, and life starts to feel more serious. At the same time, many women begin to think more deeply about the future. The qualities that once seemed exciting may no longer be enough on their own. A fun-loving but unreliable man can become less attractive than a stable, emotionally mature man capable of building a solid future. This change often surprises many men. A woman who once seemed focused on adventure may now value consistency more. A woman who once prioritized chemistry may now pay much closer attention to character. A woman who once ignored certain signs may now see them as important warnings. This doesn't necessarily mean she's become more demanding. It means she's become more selective. Experience has taught her valuable lessons. She's likely seen relationships succeed and fail. She's observed the decisions of friends and family. She's come to understand that happiness,